Hello, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Parks and Rec Commission. I will call this meeting to order at 5 o'clock p.m. We'll do roll call. Me, Chairman Kessel, present. Youth Advisor Vieja. Commissioner Rongo. Commissioner Jones. Here. Commissioner Osmondstad.
Present.
Oh, one of them is yeah. Okay, Commissioner Roberts. Here. And Commissioner Keck.
Here.
Great. I don't see, is anyone online for public comment? I don't see anyone here, so we will move on to reports. Director Westcott will update on parks and trails.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. We don't plan on it being too long of a meeting. The reason we do the updates the way that we do are so that you have the chance to review them. And I don't have anything really to add. Actually, I do have one thing to add on the sculpture for the, what is this one called? Does it have a name? The planet one. This one, this sculpture
All right.
will be, is currently in the installation process. So by the weekend, it should be installed. And so that'll be something fun for you to go take a look at. We're excited to see it. I don't have any updates on anything else unless you have a question about something, which I can't answer.
No questions? All right, we'll move on to Manager Smart. Will events and programming updates. Are you doing that? Or?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I meant for all of them. So sorry, I just
Oh.
whipped right past it. I didn't have any updates on,
Oh, none of them?
on
Oh,
that
okay.
either. Although I do want to invite you to the STEAM event on the 21st and hope that you all can join us. We've been in the planning process, as you can see from the notes, and it's going along really well. For our first time, we're thinking it'll be pretty cool.
Okay. There are no questions. We'll move on to approval of the minutes. If you've all gotten a chance to look over the minutes, do you have any discussion, changes, corrections? Okay, if someone would like to move to accept the minutes as written from our special meeting held on November 19th, 2025.
I would move to accept the minutes from our special meeting on November 19th, 2025.
I'll second that.
It's been moved by Commissioner Keck and seconded by Commissioner Jones to accept the minutes as written from the special meeting held on November 19th, 2025. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, opposed? All right, motion carries unanimously. We'll move on to discussion items only. Now you, Manager Smart? Okay. About Clarkdale's Old Fashioned 4th of July.
Right. Good evening, everybody. So we did provide you with our staff report, so I'm not going to read you everything verbatim again. But we did just want to bring this to you early so that we can have a conversation and hear from you all any ideas or guidance you might have for the upcoming 4th of July event. It's going to be a big year where we want to do things a little bit different because it's the 250th anniversary of our country's birthday. And so we're looking to change things for 1 year only and to really expand the event with that understanding. We were able to get a sponsor for $5,000, which is double the amount we normally request. So we feel like that will help us with whatever we all decide we want to do. And some of the ideas that we've had with our small planning working group that we've put together. We have a few members of the community who are on it. We have quite a bit of staff there. So that we can make sure that everybody knows about the event and we're getting a lot of ideas. So what we're thinking we will expand on is primarily our parade. So you all know that we have a children's parade every year, and this year we want it to be a community parade. So our goal is to invite floats and adults and all the members of the community to come out. We'll have vehicles that are in it. So that's the big change. And then another idea that we have that we've been moving forward with is the idea of having a concert in the park the night of July 4th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we know a lot of people will be in Cottonwood, and that's okay. But we wanted to have some activity for our residents in Clarkdale who don't really want to go into Cottonwood and enjoy a musical event that night. And so when we did our band call out, we made sure that we asked the bands who would be available for July 4. And we have at least 7 or 8 bands who said, yes, they're available. So when our selection group gets together and chooses the bands, they will help us pick that. And we're looking for something that'll be more patriotic music, probably like rock classics or country classics, something that is more something the community will enjoy for that day, with kind of a focus on July 4th. And the other, a big part of what we're going to be taking on is community outreach. So we've been brainstorming all of the community partners we can think of to make sure that once we have all of our messaging together, our parade rules together, that we're able to invite everybody to either build a float or join in the fun. So I listed out kind of some of who we're thinking, but there's more than just those. And our ice cream social is a part of the 4th of July event that has dwindled down a little bit over the last few years. So this year we're thinking of a renewed focus on that would be fun as well. So we're going to look for a way to expand that element and make sure that the focus is still old-fashioned 4th of July, but try and get some volunteers or a community group to help us with that. And so we've been thinking that the event will need to expand at least until 12 o'clock in the afternoon in order to have enough time for all of these changes. And so I did give you a draft schedule, and we're still working with Public Works and PD to make sure that our schedule will work. And part of what will determine the schedule will be how many entries we have for the parade. And we are thinking that if you're going to be in the parade this year and you're not on foot, or you're not a child, that you would register ahead of time. So that'll be part of our messaging. And so I think that's pretty much the major points, right, Joni?
Yeah, I think so. I can add in, I wanted to mention that Chairperson Kessel is part of that committee for the group that we're working on. And the concept really in making it a bigger event was pretty much driven by the mayor, really wanting us to take this to the next level. And so we're all stepping up to make sure that that happens. And also we're working, we want to work with the other municipalities in the area to for promotion of Verde Valley 4th of July America 250 events. So we'll work on a general publication that everybody can be a part of. We're also inviting their organizations to come and join in our parade. Jerome has a parade, but nobody else does a parade. And so we're hoping that we can get other municipalities to come and join in the parade. So that's all I have to add.
Yes. And also, obviously, our local businesses are targeted there. The Verde Valley municipalities were noted their strategic partners, like our nonprofits, schools, churches, Clarkdale neighborhoods. We're specifically reaching out to as many neighborhoods as we can. So any ideas with that are very welcome for contacts. And Clarkdale Jerome School's already been approached. So yeah, those are just some of the groups. All right, so are there any questions, ideas? What do you guys think?
The ice cream social, where will that most likely fit in the schedule?
So typically, the ice cream social has, the last few years, it's been kind of a very long period of time where people could come by. I think that it will obviously not be at breakfast time. So it'll be just after the breakfast period. And then we'll want it to extend past when the parade ends so that people can come after the parade. So it'll probably be a couple of hours long, and it'll depend on how many volunteers we have. We haven't settled on exactly where the location will be for it either, because we might need a significant area. And honestly, this event, there's not a lot of extra spaces. So we'll have to put some thought into that with our layout. Yeah, we are working with the school and we're waiting to hear back from them about how they would like to participate. But we really want the kids to get involved with coming to be in the parade. We'd love the school to have a float if they would like to. And then we are hoping we can work with their art department and get some sort of art project going where we can have it on display and the public can enjoy some themed art that is themed with 4th of July.
Volunteers, it's going to take a lot of volunteers this year. So keep that in mind. And if you have any friends, family that want to step up and help, please ask them to go online and complete a application for volunteering. We have been meeting with our other departments and particularly our police department and talking about just some additional public safety measures along the parade route. And so we'll probably need to enlist some, kind of like Halloween, we'll need to enlist more volunteers. So spread the word.
Yeah. And same goes for if you have any ideas about local businesses or local organizations that might want to participate, we'll make sure that we get you guys all of the promotional materials so you can hopefully pass those on to anybody you think might be interested.
Will there be an entry fee for the parade participants?
We have not determined that yet. We would like to avoid having to do that if possible. And we actually have a few ideas about how we could maybe work with a community partner to help us with the registration and organization of the floats. So we're following up with that and we'll update you guys as soon as we know. Do you have a thought about whether we should charge or not charge?
I mean, I could see it both ways. Obviously, I would think the preference would be not to charge and to just encourage as many people to participate as possible, but with a much bigger event to help offset those costs. Or maybe it's specific to if a business is participating or, dependent on the kind of participant, then it's a fee or something.
Yeah, we're really excited that Salt River Material Group stepped up with a $5,000 sponsorship. We think about 1,000 of that will go towards the band. And then we also use a portion to fund the school games because they donate their time and they accept donations for the games. So we try to offset some of their costs with some of our donations. But if we end up adding a lot of expense, depending on what all the ideas are, then we might need to look at adding that. Typically, we don't see that adding a fee like that really funds enough of the event to be worth all of the extra time coordinating the fee,
We could potentially do like a donation donate. It doesn't even have to be to the event. It can be to something special in Clarkdale. If anybody wants to donate, if a business is going to join us or whatever, then they have the option. And sometimes you end up getting a lot more money that way, but we hadn't really gotten that deep into it yet.
My last question.
Keep them coming. You're doing great.
Will the parade be judged as it has in the past?
So the groups, our working group's initial thought was that we would do 2 awards. And so we are still working that out. Obviously, we love that it's a kids parade, so we'll still have an award that's related to children because that's consistent with all of our events. The second award and how it's determined for a float, I think is still where we're going to have conversation, but we don't want to have a huge focus on the awards. Our idea is that there would just be a couple of them and we'll do our announcements and try to keep that brief because it's already going to be a much longer event. We're trying to get out of there before it's too hot because that is always the challenge with this event is there's not enough shade and it gets hot really quickly and we're going to be there until noon, probably either way. Yeah.
And hoping that our donation will help us fund some more shade
Yeah.
for the event. I think that's going to be important. And also I want to note that our police department is involved in the public safety piece of this. So our big conversation has been, how do we have a children's parade, keep the children safe, and have vehicles as well. So we're working on a plan for that. Safety measures, pretty robust safety measures to keep the kids, because sometimes they get spread out. And so we want to, probably have them go first and then have the vehicles behind, but have some major fire truck or something in between them to really, and maybe some walkers along too, just to keep things going, volunteers to help.
Yep. Yeah, we'll definitely have time to bring you all updates as we move through and settle on more of what the plan will be. We're meeting every week, so we'll have plenty of progress to show you guys the next time we meet.
But we're definitely open to suggestions, so please share your ideas if you have them.
Oh, this sounds like a big step up and exciting. And so good job to the planning committee.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
hoping enough people will be in town
Yeah.
this year that it will be worthwhile because one consideration is that the larger cities are also doing more. So there's going to be a lot of competition for people's eyes. And we want people to go and have a great time and enjoy the holiday the way that they want to. But we want to offer a little more this year and we'll see who sticks around and enjoys it, especially with our late night plan. It'll be interesting to see who would rather go to a concert than go into Cottonwood and be really close to the fireworks. So we're just going to see how that goes. Because that element is something that would be easier to recreate in the future. We already have the infrastructure embedded if we really liked that.
I think it's really exciting to have an expanded 4th of July. 4th of July in Clarkdale is always awesome already. So reading some of these ideas is really thrilling. And I think it will be a big success. It's nice to have more inclusion for other groups too, to participate in the parade. That's really cool.
Good, I'm glad you like it. Jalexa, do you have any thoughts about students or participation? We are going to include the school a lot with our planning.
I'm sure definitely a lot of kids from Clarkdale are gonna want to help out. I know that they're always up to volunteer for like games and stuff. Yeah, I think it would be nice to have like their own little section like where they can have like activities for people to do, and I definitely think that Clarkdale will be willing to do it.
Okay, thank you.
And just an FYI, we're not going to be doing a raffle at the concert that night, just.
Oh, good.
I'll probably have a lot of volunteers for that one.
I did wonder too, as on the topic of fireworks, we can see the fireworks from our house, at least the top half of them. So I wonder how visible they are from Upper Clarkdale or from the park. Like if they would start maybe right after the concert ended and people could maybe see something from, I haven't ever tried.
Yeah, I don't know.
But-
We will see. I think we're up high enough that we probably won't have visibility.
Mm.
I've come over here for the side of this building and can see it just barely. So I would think that we'd be very lucky if we're able to catch the view from over there, but it's possible. We'll find out this year.
And they don't usually start until after dark.
Yeah, after
anyway.
9, so
And
we
the
should be
concert
done.
ends at 9, so if people want to leave a little early and get somewhere that they can see it. That was the first question, though, that Jack from Cottonwood asked me. He goes, "Oh, will people be able to see the fireworks? Can they see them from the park?" I'm like, unfortunately, we didn't check that out last year because we didn't know we would be doing this. So we're not 100% sure, but that hill we think is maybe a little bit in the way. So.
All right. If there's nothing else, then I'll hand it back over to Joni.
Okay, Director Westcott, an action item, Centerville Park Revitalization Project.
Yeah, we've been to all. You'll have to help me, Michelle. Sorry. She got me all set up with it. Does anybody see a little black clicker anywhere?
Rob.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to talk about Centerville Park. So as many of you know who've been with us for a while, Centerville Park is the last park that needs our major attention right now. It was opened in 2003, and we have not had playground replacement since then. Do I have to do? Oh, it does do that. Okay. And our playground is, because do our due diligence and hire playground inspector companies to come in and check our playgrounds for safety. It was identified that that particular one is in pretty bad shape. And it actually has been identified the last couple of, and we've tried to repair the things that have not been staying together, particularly where we're having trouble is with the decking. And our public works team last year found a product that they were able to put on and kind of give us a little more longevity. But it's past its prime. And so well past. So we have the opportunity oh yeah, here's the pictures of the issues, some of the major issues. We've got we are replacing that particular piece. It should be here pretty soon. The yellow, what is that called? A shield to keep kids from falling off. We do have a new one of those coming because even though we want to start this project, we do not have funding yet. So it's going to take us a little bit in that process. In the meantime, we want to take care of the things that we actually can that are big safety issues. We've got some paint wearing off. The restrooms are not great. And they don't have doors. It just has that gate that closes and locks. So the plan is to put some nice doors on there. So the community development block grant that we did for Caballero Park is available to us again. So it's a little over $312,000. if we have the funds, we just have to choose the project and the project has to qualify for what CDBG is looking for. Primarily, we're looking at, because it's in a, let me back that up. We have to do, as we did for Caballero Park, we have to do an income survey as part of the qualification. So some of you were with us then, and we had to do the door-to-door. We actually send out a survey in the mail and let folks know why we need it back. And it does, we ask for their income information. And it's not a particularly fun thing to have to do, but it's required. And so what we're looking for is low to moderate income neighborhood, which we feel that Centerville neighborhood will most likely qualify. And so we did get some quotes to see what it would take for us to replace the playground equipment fully. We're looking at about 150,000. We've got another not noted here, $5,000 in picnic table replacement. And then the restroom bid came in at 175,000. That includes bringing the restroom up to ADA qualifications, new sinks, toilet, baby changing station, which it currently does not have, doors that actually close and lock with our auto locks like we've done at Selma Mangini and Town Park, and additional amenity replacements would include the picnic tables. So yeah, I didn't pay attention to my slides. So the public process, we have a meeting on the 19th of February, an open a public meeting with town council to invite the public to bring their project ideas. This isn't the only project. There are many other things that are being considered, including for Centerville, including for patio park subdivision. We're looking at a couple of different projects. Town staff has come together with some ideas, and then we hear from the public on what their ideas might be. We share with them what we think, let them weigh in on what they'd like to see. And there's another one on April, I have it in my notes here. Darn it, can't remember. Nope. Give me 2 seconds to look at my note. April 14th. So another public process on April 14th with the council that will be the final vote for them, but it will also be a public process where the public can weigh in before the council makes their final decision on the project. We are already starting the process of the income survey because it's a lengthy process. We have to notify the public. We have to go out and knock on doors of houses that we don't hear back from. We'd like to have a public meeting like we did in the park to invite the residents to come and talk to us about what they would like to see at their park. I mean, right now, our costs, we're looking at just replacing what we have and upgrading the bathrooms, but maybe there's something different that they would like to see. And it also helps us with the income survey for them to be aware, that these are the kind of things that we're trying to do for the community. And this park is important to that neighborhood. And we want to, we hope it comes to the top as far as what gets chosen for the community development grant. And so basically, the reason we're talking about this today is we would like you all, if you feel it's important as well, to have a discussion about it and make a recommendation to council to that it's your desire to have this as well, if that is your desire. Any questions?
My question is, how many surveys do you have to have? Like what percentage? Any ideas? I mean,
Remember?
It's 90. We have 10% that we wouldn't have to receive, and we have to receive 90%.
90%.
90%. And do they go out in English and Spanish?
You do.
Oh, great.
Mhm. And we're already working with, so the Community Development Block Grant is offered through the Arizona Department of Housing. And so we are already communicating with them, sending them our documentation that we would be sending out because it has to get pre-approved.
And with that 90%, we always aim for significantly more than that, because when we can tell, if we can tell that a house qualifies most likely, then we don't want to skip that house no matter what, because it will impact us. So last time we completed over 98% of them with your guys' help, and we just divided the neighborhood up, and everybody took a reasonable number of houses, and then we just kept going back until we got to speak with those neighbors. It worked really well for us.
And that was about 45 households in the Caballero, in the Patio Park subdivision. We're looking at quite a few more on the Centerville side. So, yeah, yeah. What do you think? I did want to mention that we've been trying to do our homework, that this park was, it looks like it was funded with CDBG funds when it was initially built. And so we're looking into that to see if there was an income survey done at that time. It's been portrayed to us that it doesn't, that they don't necessarily expire. So there's a tiny bit of hope that if we did do it, if we can prove that there hasn't been a significant change in that particular subdivision, then we can, like a new housing development or something along those lines, that we might be able to use that survey. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, but we still have some more research to do to get there.
And for cost savings, that red slide that you see behind Joni, that slide is called the Colossus slide. We actually purchased it a couple of years ago. And so that slide would stay. It was around $20,000 when we purchased it. So we're looking for a compatible set that will work with that. And then the bathrooms, we know it was $300,000 for the new bathroom at the new park. And so for cost savings, we're looking to just renovate the other restroom. And we feel like we should be able to do that pretty well. We've already had a contractor come and look at it, and it should look very similar to what we have at Town Park once we have it renovated.
Nice.
Is there a fire pit at that? Are there like cooking stoves at that?
There are barbecue pits, barbecues. Yeah, thank you, girls. We did remove we removed two that were deemed unsafe. They were rusty, and so we took those out, but there are still a couple at the outer picnic areas. Yeah, good question.
That would be in the like other amenities that's getting repaired and checked out when you're talking about new tables and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, we would want to find out from the community if it's something that they use. We actually get a lot of calls from people wanting to reserve that space for birthday parties. And as is all of our spaces, available on a first come, first served basis. We don't have the manpower, the girl power to to manage rentals or reservations for all of our ramadas. And so, but it gets used quite a bit.
Used for parties, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would have guessed. All right, thank you.
And the pickleball courts, so gosh, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe longer than that, we went in and put lined the basketball court, the double basketball court. We lined for 3 pickleball courts, and there's a box down there that we provide the nets and paddles. And we know that's getting used some by the community, so that's really great. Yeah.
Sounds like they use it then. That's.
Yeah. It has really nice parking too, probably better than any of our parks. Has a very well-designed parking lot for it. And there's also a really nice trail system. Right now, it's a social trail system for the most part. It's on some of our property, but just as our Salnamanjini Park, that park was also deeded by the Salnamanjini family. So that property, but their property is adjacent to that with the trail system. So it's part of the trail system that is showing in our Trails Master Plan for development at some point. So, yeah,
The meeting that you mentioned about getting the neighborhood feedback for what they want and also talking about that income, where in the timeline would you anticipate that happening?
Yeah, I appreciate that question. And it's one we haven't identified exactly. We're starting the process. Our friend Felicia Coates is back helping us with this project because she was integral in getting particularly the income survey done. And also as part of the funding, we would want to work with the NACOG to have them administer for us again. So that unfortunately is a $30 price tag. So the whole thing, we put in a CIP for the council to look at for funding next year because it is going to go over. If we do the project as it looks right now, we're going to go over by about 48,000, just under $50,000. So we're asking council if they can fund it. We've already been, are well aware of a lot of cuts that could potentially from the legislature coming down that's going to affect the town budget. So there's no guarantee that we'll be able to do that. And we may be able to get a different grant to offset that cost if the project gets picked up. So.
And April 17th, you said is when council would be deciding, right, on the
14th.
project, April 14th. So we wouldn't want to have the community meeting until council gives us the go ahead for that project, because we wouldn't want the community to think that we're going to be able to move forward if we don't have any funding for it. But once it's selected by council as a project, hopefully, then we would be able to schedule that with the community. And what we're asking you guys to do is to tell us that this sounds like what it should be. I mean, this is a safety concern for us. It's now the only park that has safety issues that are at this level. And so the ground cover is the biggest thing that we would really like to change. We know that when kids fall and it's on that sand, it's just not what the standard is anymore. So if we end up with less money than we want to have, but we get selected as a CDBG, we can always scale back some of what we're looking at, but make sure all the safety items are taken care of.
I think it definitely should go forward. That should be presented to the council as you have the report.
Okay, if there isn't any more discussion, you want to make that into a motion?
Oh,
You can, it just said they,
Yes.
you propose that they move, that the council, you recommend them acting on it and recommending it to be considered for the 2026 CDBG.
okay, got it. Oh, I see.
You can do it.
That's a lot. I can do it. Okay. I make a motion that we recommend that the Centerville Park Playground replacement and bathroom upgrades be considered for the 2026 CDBG funds.
And I,
Second that.
It's been made a motion by Commissioner Roberts that we recommend that, and seconded by Commissioner Jones, that we recommend that Centerville Park Playground replacement and bathroom upgrades be considered for 2026 CDBG funds. All in favor?
I,
Opposed? All right, motion passes unanimously. We will move on to future agenda items. Anyone have any in mind? Okay, well, with no further agenda items, we will move to adjourn this meeting at 5:41.
Thank you, everyone.